is May 14th, 2025, and across the United States, well, it's about the same from the last weather video. This time, however, flooding is still going on, especially around the Mid-Atlantic region. We still have some of those warnings still going on too, so severe weather. We also have been having a lot of fires up in the northern plains over here, as well as the southwest too. Well, basically, it's by southwest, meaning by like Arizona and New Mexico. Dealing with woods up here. We've also been dealing with, a little bit of mountain snow too. And the big thing we're talking about this video is still the flooding around the Mid-Atlantic region. So this is day 1 of our severe weather, so this is today when I'm making this video. We do have a slight risk around the northern plains over here, so North Dakota, a lot of Nebraska, South Dakota, a little bit of Iowa and Minnesota is in that too. We also do have a marginal risk that surrounds that, but also a marginal risk over here in the southeast and the mid-Atlantic, where some of that flooding that we saw also is contributing to severe weather. Now, for a tornado risk, everything is happening over here in Nebraska, where we can have up to a 10% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of your location, as well as up to a 5% chance all the way up around where this green stuff is, all the way up to North Dakota, South Dakota, most of Nebraska, a little bit of Iowa and Minnesota. Same thing with the hail. This time with the hail, though, we do have a hatch risk, again, in Nebraska, with that yellow stuff being up to 15% chance, with the hatch risk being significant hail, meaning 2+ inches diameter of hail, as well as over here on the East Coast, we do have up to a 5% chance of hail. And we will have some problems with the wind. However, there is no hatched risk, but it's basically in the same regions like the hail, so we still have, up to the 15% chance of some wind around, as well as the green around, which is up to a 5% chance in both areas. Now, tomorrow, we are going to definitely have a step up for sure. We already have a enhanced risk planned across the Great Lakes region. So, Chicago, Wisconsin, Northern Illinois, Northern Indiana, Western Michigan, and most of, again, Wisconsin is going to be in that. Now, lots of surrounding cities, too, are going to be in the slight risk. So, the Twin Cities are going to be seeing some stuff all the way down to St. Louis, maybe all the way down to the tri-point of the Mississippi and the Ohio rivers, all the way over to Detroit. So we are going to have quite a population mass amount going to be within the severe weather. And then we do have that marginal risk going all the way around into the Texarkana area, all the way through the Mid-Atlantic into the Northeast. Now for day 3, we do have that slight risk going around the whole Ohio Valley as well as the mid-Mississippi Valley. So we will be seeing some of that. So, Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Southern Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, all the way up into this little slither bit into West Virginia, as well as this marginal risk that's going to be going all the way around, all the way up to Pittsburgh, probably, if a little southeast of Pittsburgh, as well as, all of Tennessee is going to be in this northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, going all the way down to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So you will see some of that stuff. We do have a day 4 probable outlook of a slight risk of weather, kind of in the same area where we have that. So, this stormy weather could still stay here for quite a bit still. So definitely be aware of that. We have a little bit of a Oklahoma outbreak around the OKC area, so we could be seeing some slight risk of severe weather, possibly. Now, for excessive rainfall, I am kind of surprised that they only put a, 5% chance of flooding over here in the Mid-Atlantic East. I really think that they should add a little slight risk to some of the areas that were impacted by flooding. If you didn't know, portions of western Maryland and eastern West Virginia did get some flash flooding over here. So you guys better make sure. And I really do think if I were to be with the Weather Prediction Center, I would put a little slight risk for areas around there, because the ground is still really wet, and so more flooding could happen with any time. Day 2, it's not much of a rain outbreak. It's like more kind of like the Dakotas and around the Pittsburgh area that we could be seeing some stuff. So it is definitely getting smaller for sure. 3, everything changes. The Ohio Valley is going to be seeing some of those slight rest stuff. So stuff like Louisville, Evansdale, maybe up to Huntington, West Virginia, as well as locations southeast of St. Louis. So a lot of Kentucky is going to be in this. Same thing with southern Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois, and a little sliver of eastern Missouri, as all this marginal risk goes all the way around all of this. Now, these are the precipitation counts for stuff happening in the Mid-Atlantic, according to the HRRR. So right now, as I am making this, locations, I really do think around Pittsburgh could be seeing some stuff, especially around my neck of the woods. We could be seeing, up to half an inch of rain all the way through Thursday. So, especially because we definitely could get pockets of rain, especially around here, in West Virginia, both of the Virginias. But Western Maryland could definitely see some of that stuff, as over in this location, we definitely had a lot of flooding yesterday. As well as up down here in South Carolina, where we could see some locations picking up to 5 inches of rain around here. So it definitely could be quite something for sure. Now, same thing with the NAM model is that we could definitely be, seeing quite some rain out of this. So locations up here through south of Pittsburgh, around my neck of the woods again, could be seeing some stuff. Same thing with like Huntington, Cincinnati, Louisville, we could be seeing some of that rain too. As well as some of the higher elevations of West Virginia, we could be seeing up to 3, even 4 inches too. Same thing around the Virginia Beach area. We definitely could be seeing some stuff for sure. I'm going to show this for now on throughout what the Midwest could be seeing. However, I will be making another weather update video tomorrow, depending on how updated it could be. So right now, when we go look through this thing here, is that, we're not seeing a bunch of stuff, actually, until quite around the later of the day. That low pressure system is going to move by and, cause windstorm damage for sure. And flooding could also be a problem too, depending on how slow this thing is. But this thing is going to be quite quick moving, and we're not going to be seeing some of that stuff. Now, everything, again, could change. It is severe weather, and everything could change tomorrow, which is why I'm making another update video about this tomorrow, just to talk over it about it and what you could see happening. Now, throughout the rest of the country, again, it is going to be quite rainy for some people for sure. Now, stuff will be happening. We will might have another low pressure system form throughout the Rockies here, bringing a lot of snow into the mountains, especially we're still in May still. And that stuff is still, going to be moving through. So we see that high pressure system. That could dump a lot of rain too, especially how the Ohio Valley could definitely be seeing quite a bit of flooding in the Mid-Atlantic. And then, still stuff keeps on coming. So, we're going to be seeing a lot of rain. This could definitely be problematic for people who live around the Ohio Valley in the Mid-Atlantic for sure. So keep updated for that stuff, and I'll basically will see you guys in the next one. So bye.